Hello, it's Classy here, back with another Tribes video, and today I'm going to be showcasing SR Onoki from the previous banner with the two Kages. And I got some good news for you guys. So for this current banner with Kid Naruto and Kid Sasuke, I was finally able to break my shaft streak on my main account and pull Sasuke in 7.5k. So I'm really happy that I have him and I can add him to the team. So look out for that in the future. But in the meantime, let's take a look at this Onoki with 50k total power, level 82 in tier 15. Shout out to Logan from server 16. He's in my alliance for providing all the clips. So first things first, there have definitely been some mixed feelings about the art, but personally I think this is pretty good art. Onoki himself isn't supposed to be like a super physically attractive character, as he is like one of the older characters in the show. So I do like how they kept to the source material here, and I still think this looks pretty good as an art. And the animated effects also look really nice. Since he's using his particle jutsu, you can see the particles moving. Yeah, so I do like how they implemented that as well. Yeah, I agree though, this isn't, the best art, but it's also an SR. So the URs tend to have the better arts. So these are the stats. And keep in mind, this is level 82 and there's other upgrades like Gamma Rares. But we can see that he has a very high critical rate and damage increase rate, while his critical suppression rate, damage reduction rate, and the other defensive stats are all below 20%, except for guard rate. And his critical damage increase rate is also fairly high at 27%. So he is one of the crit machine nukers, similar to other nukers you might have used before. Maybe you've replaced them on your team. But he does do a really good job at nuking, as he also has power creep, but he does need to be protected, just like your other crit machine nukers. So yeah, he'll be doing crits pretty much all the time. You'll see why later when the kit is shown. For link bonuses, the Raikage and Mizukage makes sense. Gaara is the Kazekage and Tsunade. Then Deidara, because, I think he was a student at one point, and another Gaara, so that all makes sense. What else do we have? Okay, yeah, we have the 3-man tribe. This is not a bad tribe at all. Does single target damage, extra damage when attacking first, which is pretty much all the time, so 25% bonus. Lowers all enemies attacked by 30% for 2 turns, boosts critical rate by 18% for the rest of the battle, and critical suppression rate by 30% for the rest of the battle. It's a good 3-man tribe, but it's not the best one. There are better ones to use, so I don't think this one's necessary. So here we go. I actually like this character model too. Like recently they've been improving upon the character models. With like him and Kisame with the floating versions, which looks cool. And I mean, in game it might not look so great because you can only see the back. So this is the first skill, or the jutsu. He boosts his own critical rate by 45% first, and then he deals power creep single target damage and 29% extra damage when there are more undefeated allies than enemies. So this basically sums down to just nuke. It's very high chance that he's going to crit and he'll just do a lot of damage. That's pretty much it. Nothing else to really talk about here, just a lot of damage. Same thing for this. This also supports his nuking kit. Well, actually, wait, my bad. This supports his weakness, which was that he lacked defense. So he's able to boost his own damage reduction rate by 9.6% for the rest of the battle. It's solid, you know, every bit of defense helps. More attack boosts from the third skill. Here's his fourth skill. He boosts his own critical rate by 6.6% for the rest of the battle, which with each turn that passes, boosts his own damage reduction rate by 12% if he's active at the start of the turn. So first, the damage reduction rate boost every time he rotates helps as well. So if you can add that up, you know, with his skill 2, you can get some good defense to keep him alive. And why do you want to keep him alive? Not only because he does a lot of damage, but because he ramps up his own critical damage, or his own critical rate, by 6.6% every single turn. So this is similar to the Six Tails kit, where, you know, Six Tails gets stronger over time, and so does he. And that kind of makes sense character-wise, because he like trying to charges up the particle style jutsu. He isn't like one of the super fast characters. He kind of is older, so it makes sense that he kind of needs to charge up his attacks. And here's the vitality, which is definitely going to be one of the weaker parts of his character. This is the same vitality as Sublime, and recently, you know, Sublime has definitely been overshadowed to the point where he's been dropping tiers. And one of the main reasons for that is because of his vitality, which is the same one, I'm pretty sure. So it's basically dependent on getting chain attacks, and the problem with this is it's inconsistent because in Arena there's a lot of stuns and stuff, so it's not always very likely that you're going to actually get the bonus chakra from the chain attack. And you know, that definitely weakens him because he'll need more help getting chakra. But I guess with a lot of the new chakra generators, you can try to offset this deficiency. And I'm quickly going to read off the limit break effect, which is basically just boost own critical damage increase rate when he's active. So he does ramp up his critical damage over time, as well as, you know, his critical rate. So just pretty much look out for crits all the time. And yeah. Okay, we've already seen that. So I think that's pretty good for now. We're going to go to the arena battle now. Alright, so here we go. This is going to be the first arena battle, and we have Onoki, the Force Cell. That's fine, he's a nuker, so Force Cell helps him with the damage reduction rate boost, and that's cool because that stacks with some of his skills, which boosts his damage reduction rate. So good choice. As for going first, it's not necessary. He doesn't really do any sort of buffs or debuffs or any status effects, so you can really put him wherever you want. And as you can see, his fourth skill already triggered, which is the hard-headed, and that boosts his critical rate because we don't have his limit break 2 yet. But this is the skill that triggers every turn. So like I said, he's getting stronger every turn, and he doesn't have to be active for this part, but he does need to be active for the damage reduction rate boost. We've all seen the Santa Naruto Sasori combo by now, so. Alright, now he triggers this again, so he gets the critical rate up, as you can see behind that red text, and then he gets the damage reduction rate up as well. And as you can see, his chakra bar is not filled up right now. His vitality does make it difficult for him to jutsu all the time. I do like his regular attack where he just throws rocks at people. Okay. His hard-headed triggering again here. Basically every single turn. Now we have him rotating in, finally full chakra. As you can see, that is definitely one of the weaknesses, similar to Sublime, where Sublime doesn't always have the chakra necessary. Critical rate up, damage reduction rate up. Now he has the jutsu, and let's see how much damage he can do. And we get to see the animation too. And I think the animation is actually really cool. And Obito was pretty high health, so 375k critical. That's not bad, you know. It's pretty good. I think the max I've seen so far, like from these clips I've been sent, was 500k critical on a single type or same type damage. So similar to this, it did the job fine, and it is same type damage, so keep that in mind. And yeah, that should be the first battle, so we can go on to the next one. Alright, so this is the second battle. Should be a similar team, but we have Mei as well. You can see the fourth skill triggering every turn, or part of the fourth skill, I should say. And I'll talk about like what his uses are mainly. So, you know, nowadays with all of these really strong units, especially the really strong A units, you might not always have a space for him on your 9-man team, but he's good to fill in for any sort of nuke you need. You can use him for PvE stuff where you need more nukers than other type units sometimes. Depends on who the enemies are, of course. And if you're a newer player, definitely look to put him in as well, because he is nuke power creep, and some of the units you start off with aren't going to be power crept. So he'll carry you through like the other stages of the game until you can get some other units. But yeah, you know, he is a free unit also. He's an SR, so. Here we have the skill 2, so we should see damage reduction rate increase for him. Yep, right there. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, whenever his allies jutsu the first time around, he doesn't have it, which is, you know, a little bit disappointing. Mei giving status effect rate up. She's a really good unit, actually. Like SSS, I think. Now, as for the new Naruto and Sasuke, I think both of them are actually really good. As I've mentioned before, I think Naruto probably SS. He's really similar to B, and you can probably get him to 6 stars, depending on, you know, your player level, how far you are into the game. A lot of the veterans can get him to 6 or 7, so that's great. Sasuke is SSS for sure. He has like pretty much all of the greatest abilities packed into one. And just remember that his chakra generation is only for his active cells, so you still need Sai. You can't replace him necessarily. So here we go. Onoki is ready to use his jutsu now. Uses it on a type down. So, you know, that's still really good damage for a type down. I think Sasori had a good amount of HP. I'm not sure, but this was enough to finish him off. Which is good because then the allies behind him can finish off the other two. Like if Narukage targeted Kakashi, Mei should be able to finish both of them off. You know, I think it would have been better for Mei to go first, but that's fine. The point is just to show the Onoki as a nuker. And yeah, that's all I can really say here. This battle should be over. I already gave my conclusions for this character overall. Tier wise, I'm not necessarily sure. Maybe like S, probably. Could be S or maybe even slightly lower. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say this is like one of the necessary units at all. Just keep that in mind. But you have to showcase every single unit, no matter if they're good or bad. So hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned something.